Hey y'all, it's Amanda and this is my Texas Zone 8 garden, and before we dive in, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this on your Facebook page. Okay, this last week has been ridiculous. My husband is out of town with my youngest, camping with the Scouts, and so I have just my two oldest, which doesn't sound like a big deal, except one of them has jazz camp, the other one has recitals 3 nights in a row and dance photos and all the things. And so I feel like I have just been on the go. So all of my videos this last week have been shopping because I'm not at home to garden. And so anyway, I'm super excited to be home at this point in time. And I'm excited because we're going to be starting some shade perennials from seed. Okay, so starting things from seed has been a game changer in my garden, and I've gotten real serious about starting seeds, trying all the things, and I like to share everything with you all and what all is going on. And specifically, I wanted to put a little bit of focus on starting some perennials that love shade for my shade garden, because I have found that a lot of the shade garden plants tend to be kind of pricey, and I think it's because they're a little bit more unique, rare, and unusual. Okay, so why am I starting my shade perennials from seed right now in the summer? Because it feels like a weird time, right? Because a lot of people will start like in the winter or something like that. So timing really does matter with seed starting. Perennials take longer to grow and often need several months to get established. If I start them in summer, that allows them to bulk up indoors and be ready for planting in early fall. And by planting them out in early fall, that's going to allow them to mature over the winter. This is also a very budget-friendly process, which is one of the reasons I start now. Buying mature plants in spring can cost $10 to $15 per plant, which is crazy. Whereas a single seed packet can grow dozens of plants for the same price. This seed packet, I think, was like 5 something, right? And it has 50 seeds in it, the potential for 50 plants, which is crazy inexpensive compared to buying the full grown plant. Fall planting equals success for perennials. A lot of times we get really wrapped up in buying all the perennials in the spring and planting them. Really, the best time to plant perennials is in the fall. By transplanting these seedlings that I'm starting right now in the fall, I'm going to give them months to establish roots before the spring, establishing roots in their native soil, in that natural soil within your own garden. This leads to better blooms, stronger plants, and less watering next year because those roots have already established themselves. Shade plants are slow. It totally is. Isn't that crazy? Shade plants, they just grow so much slower than full sun plants. So many shade perennials are slow growers. Giving them a head start now means you won't be able to wait. You won't have to wait 2 to 3 seasons to get real impact. So that's going to be extremely helpful. So we're going to start 3 varieties today. We're going to start black Barlow Columbine. We're going to start Grande Astilbe, and we're going to start newest hybrids Coral Bells. All of these were purchased from Swallowtail Garden Seeds, which is my favorite online company, and I am not like sponsored by them. They don't pay me anything. They don't give me discounts, nothing. I'm just like you guys when I go to shop. So it is my absolute honest opinion on these, not influenced in any way, except that they're just awesome. Just really, really, really like them so much. Okay, so let's talk about black Barlow Columbine. It is has fully double flowers in a moody, deep plum black color with spurs and adds drama to a shady or dappled beds. It's hardy in zones 3 through 9. Remember, we're focusing on perennials. It's about 24 to 30 inches tall, and it blooms late spring to early summer. So really excited to give those a try. So let's go ahead and get set up to get these started. Okay, the soil, okay. I said okay. Okay, the soil I'm starting with is Burger BM7. This is my favorite soil to work with for seed starting. It is a standard potting soil. It does have some bark pieces in it, but overall it is a really fine texture and it works great for me for seed starting. You can use whatever works best for you. I do use a dry seed starting method. So I start with dry soil, and I like to just come in and real quick, I use the Amazon seed starting tray, so that comes with a set of 12 cells. Let me grab the other parts. All right, it comes with a set of 12 seed starting cells, a water reservoir, and a lid with a humidity dial here. And these are really inexpensive. They are listed in my Amazon storefront, and the link is in the video description below. I'm very happy with them. They've lasted a lot of years. So basically, I'm just going to come through with my soil and put it into my trays. I don't want to overly compact my trays. The soil needs to be light and airy and fluffy so that it's easier for seeds roots to work their way down. So basically I just come through and I just take the soil lightly, shake it into place. I use 2 fingers to come down and press gently into each of them, and then come back with some more soil. Okay, easy peasy. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and fill up my water reservoir at least 50% of the way. I like to go a little bit more than 50%. And then I'll go ahead and drop a set of seed cells down in it so that it can easily sink down and suck up the water. Okay, I brought you guys in closer so you could better see the seeds. These are surface sow seeds, and typically if they're surface sow, they're super tiny. There are 30 seeds in this packet of seeds, and we are going to sow all of them. We're going to do a couple in each of the things, and they look like tiny, just black specks. So I'm just going to come through, grabbing a couple of seeds at a time. Now, if I end up having really good luck with this germination on this columbine, then I will, when I'm going through on this, I should have waited to do my soil, because I don't want the seeds to stick to my finger. So I don't think that I'm going to press them down unless I can figure out a way to do it without them all sticking, which I don't think I can. So I should have waited to put my water in so these weren't so wet, because I don't want to move the seeds from cell to cell. So here we are. We'll go with that. So seed sowed, surface sowed, just like that. Very simple. If I end up with multiple seedlings sprouting or germinating in each container, I can prick them out and separate them into other containers so that I have lots of plants. And I'm going to put today's date. Alexa, what's today's date? And then I'm going to put the number of days to germination on here. I think that's something I need more often, especially because a lot of these perennial seeds I'm going to be starting take a lot longer to germinate. So then I'm going to put in my label, get my humidity dome, and make sure that the dial is closed. I'm so excited to get these started. Very exciting. Okay, a little bit about the black Barlow Columbine. It is surface sow, just like what we did, 20 to 30 days to germination. So quite a while, which is also why I put the date and the number of days to germinations, because it's going to be a long time and I want to make sure I don't give up too soon. 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit in order to germinate, which is the natural ambiance of my particular house. So I'm not going to be putting them on any type of heat mat. Next, it is 150 to 180 days till they are mature, which is why we're starting them right now. So allow them to get to maturity in the fall. We'll plant them out. They'll build roots over the winter, and then come spring, we'll have big, beautiful plants. Very exciting. Now, the columbine does improve with cold stratification, which I skipped because I'm just not good at the cold stratification. I forget that I have them, and I'm not very good at planning ahead, which is also why I went ahead and overseeded in all of them. So it improves the germination if you do cold stratification. You want to place the seeds in moist paper towels in a plastic bag in the refrigerator for up to 3 weeks. I chose not to do that. We'll see what ends up happening. Even if I get one plant it would be less for that one plant than it was buying it at the store. Really important for columbine is to be patient because germination can be erratic with columbine. So some might germinate, some might not. So really make sure that you're patient and take your time on it. And it is surface sow, so it needs light for germination. So I'm going to put it right under the lights here. These lights get 14 hours of, these lights are on 14 hours a day. So it will get that light to be able to germinate. Very exciting. Okay, let's shift over to our next one, which is going to be Grande Astilbe. And I finally had luck with Astilbe. I started it from bare root, put it in a container, and then it overwintered and came back and gave me beautiful blooms. So I feel good about Astilbe. It does better for me in containers. I finally have a spot where it does well in the shade garden. Very, very excited about it. So now I'm ready to go. I'm going to start lots of it. So Grande Astilbe is tall, elegant plumes of flowers in shades of pink, white, red, and lavender with finely textured foliage. It's absolutely beautiful. It is great as a cut flower as well. It's hardy in zones 4 through 8, and it is 24 to 36 inches tall, and it blooms early to mid-summer. So really excited about it. It's a very elegant cut flower, very pricey cut flower as well. And so what I'm going to do on this one is also surface sow. We are not going to put the water in yet. Lesson learned. I had forgotten about that. It's been a little while, a few weeks since I started any kind of seeds. But let me bring y'all in closer so you can see what's going on with these seeds. Now, since these are surface sow, I'm guessing they're really tiny. Oh my gosh, they are super tiny. Wow, they're like dust, y'all. That makes sense though. That totally tracks. I think I'm going to do 2 containers of those because if I have success, I know that Kristen is going to want some of these. Astilbe is a very pricey plant that can be finicky. So if I can master growing them from seed, it'd be pretty awesome game changer for my seed garden or for my shade garden. Okay, y'all, dust. I can't even tell if I'm even getting any in. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and gently press down to make sure they have good contact with soil, and then I'm going to dust off my fingers in case I happen to pick one up. All right, and I'm going to take 2 water reservoirs and go ahead and fill those up 50% of the way with water. All right, and then we'll just go ahead and sink our seeded trays into place and make our labels. And we're labeling them with the start date, today's date, and the number of days to germination, just to make our lives a little bit easier. I will say I was cutting these off and it was working better. I like it better. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and put our humidity domes on, making sure that the dial is closed. Okay, a little bit about Grande Astilbe. From seed is surface sow. That means it needs light to germinate, so it will go directly under these lights. It'll get light 14 hours a day. The germination rate is 21 to 35 days, so quite a while. Remember, we were talking about that with perennials. A lot of them, it take a long time to germinate. It needs to be at 68 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about the ambient temperature of my home, so I do not need a heat mat. And they are 180 days to maturity. Once again, we're starting early on this so that we can get some beautiful hardy seedlings, some good going seedlings outside in early fall and allow them to grow on throughout fall into winter and then have beautiful plants in the spring. Sweet. Okay, and then the last set of seeds we're going to start today are newest hybrids Coral Bells. And this is a stunning mix of foliage in copper, plum, lime, silver, burgundy, texture and color for shade areas. They do put off flowers, but the flowers aren't typically as interesting as the foliage, although I do like the flowers. I think they're beautiful. These are hardy in zones 4 through 9. They grow about 10 to 18 inches tall, and they bloom late spring to early summer, For me, coral bells I have now discovered do best for me in containers, and I think that's because the containers drain better so their roots don't rot. So I think that that's going to work out a lot better for me. And there's 50 seeds in here. We're going to start all 50 seeds, and we are going to start 2 containers worth. All right, let me bring y'all in closer so you can see what the seeds look like. Okay, if I end up having success with these, I'll be very excited to utilize some of them on my front porch containers or my back porch containers, as well as the shade garden. So I don't feel nervous about starting this many at all. These are even smaller than the Astilbe. I can't believe it. These are specks, tiny, tiny specks. So we'll do the best we can, spreading them out. Bless all those farmers who grow this stuff like crazy. Okay, well, I hope I got them in there okay. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and fill up 2 water reservoirs. Once again, with at least 50% water. Sink those down. And then go ahead and add my tags. And remember, I am adding today's date plus the number of days to germination, just because these take so long and I want to remind myself so that I don't give up. Then go ahead and place the humidity domes on top, making sure the dial is closed. Okay. Newest hybrid coral bells, surface sow, so they need light to germinate. So once again, we're just going to put them right under. They'll get 14 hours of light a day, 10 to 21 days to germinate, so a little bit quicker than the other 2 that we started today. They need to be at about 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit in order to germinate, and that is the ambient temperature of my home, and I am inside. 150 to 180 days to maturity. These need consistent but not wet moisture. Good airflow is critical. As soon as these sprout, we want to open this up and allow good airflow because damping off can be an issue. It also says use vermiculite dusting to reduce surface mold. I'm not going to stress about that. We're going to go with just what we have here. Okay? Feeling good? Okay, so just for a little bit of reference, I probably didn't spend more than $15 to start all these seeds with the soil and the whole thing. Swallowtail Garden Seeds is priced really well. So feel really good about that. Just for a little bit of reference, if I achieve 12 mature plants, perennial plants, and keep in mind that I have, 24, 48, 60. I have 60 potential plants at least here. If I only get 12 of these perennial plants, that's about $150. It's about an 80 to 90% savings from what I spent on seeds versus if I were to go buy these plants at the nursery. So huge savings. Okay, a little bit about aftercare and transplanting, because I think that's a really important part that we need to touch on. Once seedlings have several sets of true leaves, you want to pot them up to 3 to 4 inch containers or pots like this size. And that allows them to continue to form bigger root systems. You want to harden off in a shaded outdoor area for a week or 2 in early fall. We don't want to harden off when it's 100 degrees. You want to wait for your temps to drop a little bit. Early fall to me is really October. That's really when we actually start our real fall. Plant out in prepared rich soil in shaded areas after hardening off. So I will probably go ahead and plant them out sometime in late, mid to late October. And then that'll give them a good 6 to 8 weeks prior to us getting super cold. Mulch well after planting to protect roots through the winter, but also to help retain moisture. And then water regularly in the first few weeks after transplanting to make sure that they have enough to survive the heat, even in our fall. Our fall is pretty hot. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this. We are going to be cranking it out on seed starting. We're going to be starting, the next video I'm going to do is sun perennials. I'm going to do 2 different videos of sun perennials. We're going to be looking at geum, Shasta daisies, coreopsis, 2 kinds of echinacea, bee balm. We're going to be working on a lot of those. And then I am going to be switching over to annuals for fall planting. Tons of Coleus, Rebecca. I can't even think of all of them right now. There's a lot. But that's my main goal these next few weeks. We're getting into the hotter times of the summer. I will be spending less time outside gardening and more time inside preparing for fall and trying to really be able to boost and grow my garden as inexpensively and budget friendly as possible. And that is going to be through seed starting. All right, you all, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have started Columbine or Astilbe, or why can't I think of the last name? Coral Bells from seed. Let me know. Let me know how it went. Let me know if you have any tips in regards to those. I'd be very, very interested. As always, make sure you like and comment on the video. Every time you like and comment, it helps grow the video so much. And if you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment, just drop me an emoji below, letting me know that you made it to the end of the video and you say hi. And be sure to check out my Patreon community. The link is in the video description below. It is all things gardening, all things She's a Mad Gardener. There's a free tier you can join in under, and there are additional paid tiers. The higher up you are in the tiers, the more access you get, including exclusive videos only available to the highest patrons, as well as group chats and photo sharing. All right, you all, as always, she's a mad gardener or decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.